We work very hard, work day by day to make all of our schools the best in the nation so that every child is given the same opportunity to succeed and reach their potential in life. And the greatest gift that I can give to any child here in Chicago is a good quality education given for tools for life. When I took the responsibility of Chicago Public Schools 15 years ago, we acted quickly to turn around a system that has failed our students, our taxpayers for decades. Although we must continue to do better, today we are far closer to providing every student in every school with the same chance for good quality education, something that would not have happened without our ongoing commitment and hard work of the people of the city of Chicago, and especially the taxpayers and the business community. We implemented many reforms, starting with making learning in the classroom our highest priority. Our students must learn the basics of reading, math, and science if they to succeed in everyday life. We've invested to improve our teachers, improve our student safety. We've invested billions of dollars locally to improve the learning environment. You can see that in the renovation, dedication of new schools. We've acted to turn around our most troubled schools, especially neighborhood high schools, some of them which for decades had gone unchecked and unaccountable. We've led the nation in creating new contract and charter schools. Even we invested to improve our neighborhood schools. We're piloting efforts to lengthen the school day, extend the school year. We created new partnerships with every part of Chicago, including the business, faith-based, political leaders, organizations, to stand up with us in support of all of our school reforms and changes. As a result, student test scores have increased year by year. Most of our students today are going on to college or graduating, or at least be qualified for a job. More students are attending school, while fewer are dropping out. Still, we're not where we need to be. We must keep all of our progress going so that our students and our schools deliver on the promise of preparing our students for post-secondary education in the workforce. And there must be a learning environment, not just in the school, but in the family, on the block, in the places of worship, in the entire community. They must feel that their life is a learning environment, that in their community or any place, opportunity to learn. And that's why today I want to announce I've asked Terry Mazany, President, Chief Executive Officer of the Chicago Community Trust, to become the interim Chief Executive Officer for Chicago Public Schools and to serve until the next mayor names a new head. I've asked the Board of Education to approve him at the next board meeting. Terry replaces Ron Huberman, who I want to thank for his leadership and commitment, not just for his efforts to improve our schools, but all the ways he served Chicago since I've been mayor. I'm asking Terry to accept this interim responsibility because I firmly believe he brings managerial skills as well as experience and education for the job. Terry has a master's degree in business administration. He has applied this knowledge during his career to the Detroit Public Schools, then in districts throughout the country, including schools in Baltimore, Oakland, San Francisco, as well as other school districts, smaller school districts. He has proven he can work collaboratively and bring people together across different groups to achieve a very, very common goal. As you know, the Chicago Community Trust is one of the nation's largest community foundations. It has assets more than $1.5 billion. Its grant making exceeds $100 million a year to benefit more than 2,000 non-for-profit organizations in the metropolitan area. Under his leadership, the Chicago Community Trust has brought to the table a balanced understanding that embraces every student, every family, and every school. The Chicago Community Trust has supported both Chicago's neighborhood schools as well as the expansion of our charter school system. At the Trust, he led the design and implementation of a $50 million five-year commitment to support literacy, teacher and principal quality, and the operation of new schools in Chicago. Based on the success of this initiative, the Trust has renewed its funding for a second five-year $50 million commitment focused on expanding improvements system-wide, developing more high-quality principals and teachers. In response to the recession, at my request, he provided leadership to organize a recovery partnership involving over 50 foundations to support the distribution of more than $1 billion in American Recovery and Reinvestment Act in Chicago. I've asked Terry to focus on a number of areas where we must keep our progress going. First, he needs to find a chief executive officer who is responsible on a daily basis to developing and implementing education policies. We need to maintain our focus on the classroom learning and make sure that we're using the latest teaching techniques and technology. Next, he needs to continue our approach under which we support both improvement of our neighborhood schools, including our high schools, as well as expansion of our charter school program. We cannot have successful schools unless we graduate students who are prepared to succeed in life. Further, we must make sure we're doing all we can to keep our students safe. They go to and from school. That includes a full implementation of the Culture of Calm program. We must continue to work with Chicago Teachers Union to better prepare our teaching workforce. We need to expand our system of career academies through which we give our students an opportunity and a chance to train for the jobs of the future. And we must work with the Chicago City Colleges to help them deliver on the reinvention of the system. And during these very difficult, austere times, I've asked Terry to continue to better manage our city's schools so that we're protecting our taxpayers, putting every dollar possible into the classroom's learning. I'd like to ask Terry to say a few words. Thank you. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Mayor Daley, for this extraordinary opportunity. I appreciate your confidence in me, and I've long admired your leadership of the Chicago Public Schools. I also want to extend a deep appreciation to the Executive Committee of the Chicago Community Trust that is fully in support of this move and has demonstrated their civic commitment by lending their CEO during this interim period. I also look forward to working with Mary Richardson Lowry, President of the Chicago Public School Board of Education, under whose leadership the district has continued to move forward. There are a number of important issues that lie ahead, and Mr. Mayor, you have spelled those out with great detail, and I think it's a continuing testament to your clear vision for the type of schools that Chicago needs and deserves. And I think that Chicago remains positioned uniquely among all of our nation's school districts to be able to rise to that level that no other district has of providing high-quality education opportunities for virtually every student. The core of this work is an emphasis on the great teachers that are within the school district and the distinguished and dedicated staff who are working hard to deliver on this promise on a daily basis. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to correct myself when I said we need a chief executive officer. I meant a new chief education officer, and that is the top priority.